What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to, this is a little bit of a channel update now. I was originally going to film a channel update into then my kind of end of year favourite things in wrestling video. That shit was just way too fucking long to be one video. So I'm just throwing this in here. This is me just before I start the edit coming in to just say that this is going to be a little two-parter video. This is the little channel update for what's going on and what we can expect to see from the Jake Talks Wrestling channel over next year. And then tomorrow on New Year's Eve we will post my favourite things of the year in wrestling. I just want to talk about my match of the year, wrestler of the year, tag team of the year, things like that. So yeah, that is a little bit of preamble done just now, and then we'll get to yesterday's Jake talking about what's going on. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for an end of year video. Now, as always, at the end of the year, I like to talk about the wrestling I've really liked. I don't usually talk about wrestling I don't really enjoy. I try and stay away from that. I don't love talking negatively about wrestling, especially because so many other fucking people want to talk negatively about wrestling on the internet. But I'm also going to make this like a little bit of a channel update as well. Just kind of talk about my plans for the channel going forward, my plans for content on the channel, my plans for what I want to do with the channel, my plans to just kind of for what I've done and not done over the year, mostly what I've not done, and just talk about that. So we'll start off with that. We'll kick it off with the channel update. It's probably very easy to see that in the year of our Lord 2024, wrestling wasn't as much of a full-time investment as it typically was for me this year. I found it a lot harder to watch wrestling on a consistent basis. I found it a lot harder to keep up with the product weekly. I, in fact, stopped watching wrestling weekly altogether this year. I watched very little Dynamite and Raw and SmackDown and NXT and Collision and TNA and all the stuff. I think just with a lot of changes in my personal life, with I moved flat twice in the space of 2 months. I changed job. My job, which I was obviously enjoying, but with my job, I'm out the house basically in 12-hour stints, 4 days a week. I work 10-hour shifts. An hour of getting to and from and all this stuff. And a lot of the time when I come home, my first instinct isn't let's put Dynamite on. It's like let's make dinner and let's throw on like an episode of The Simpsons or some shit. So because of that, I just find it a lot harder to keep up with and consume weekly professional wrestling. Now, I tuned in for all the most of the pay-per-views from both major companies. I kept up. When I had days off, I'd plug my PC into my big telly and I'd sit down and I'd maybe watch that week's Dynamite and I'd watch that week's Raw and things like that, and I'd catch up. But it was very hard for me to make wrestling a full-time investment this year. It was very hard for me to find the time to give those 2 hours a week to a Dynamite or those 3 hours a week to Raw and SmackDown and things like that. So it was really hard for me to keep up and stay locked in on wrestling. Now, at the end of the year, when the Continental Classic came around, boy, I locked the fuck in, because the Continental Classic is fantastic. But like I say, I found it a lot harder this year, just in my own personal life, to be able to watch wrestling on a consistent basis, and that's why I've not been able to make content on this channel on a consistent basis, apart from the fact that I'm awful about making videos on this channel on a consistent basis. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. With WWE television going to Netflix, it's going to be a lot easier for me to watch WWE content. At least it's there, it's on Netflix, it's a lot easier. As you can tell with the new setup here, I've rearranged my living room and got myself a little officey setup here. So maybe watching Dynamite will still be a little bit tricky, because I don't know, it's just when I get home from work, I don't really want to sit in my desk chair and watch 2 hours of wrestling. If I'm going to watch wrestling after a long day at work, I'd rather do it on my big couch. But no, I think next year I'm going to really try and get back into watching wrestling, to make these videos, because I enjoy making these videos. I know I have a lot of people who watch these videos. I say a lot. I know there are people who watch these videos that have been watching me for years, watched me talk about wrestling since I was 16 here on this dumb little channel that I love making videos for. So I'm going to try my best to lock in next year and get watching. I think as well I find it harder to stay up for shows because I don't work in a bar, so I'm not going to sleep at 3 a.m. just on routine anyway. So I don't know. I do a lot of waking up in the morning, going through the living room as I'm setting everything up. I just see, oh, Jon Moxley killed Bryan Danielson last night. Cool, whatever. Just things like that. So I think the way I've consumed wrestling has changed a lot over the last couple of years, but the last year specifically, and it's kind of impacted the way that I obviously watch and digest and consume, and obviously create here on this channel. So going forward, I don't really know what I'm going to do. When I gave a little channel update about 8 months ago, I kind of said doing reviews of the shows isn't really something I'm going to be able to do with my schedule. I could review Raw. I work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so I could get up on a Tuesday morning and review Raw, no problem. But things like NXT and Dynamite and SmackDown, they just fall on days that I'm going to have to work. So I don't really know what I want to do in terms of consistent content, in terms of consistent series. I do know I still want to come on here and talk about wrestling. I do know I still want to come on here and talk about this thing that I love and have invested now, going on 19 years of my life following and obsessing over and consuming. So in terms of what the content is going to look like moving forward here, I don't really know. I'm still just going to come on here and talk shite, I guess. So yeah, thank you guys for those who have stuck around. I have had people message me asking when I'm going to be making videos on this channel and things like that, which is really cool to me because, I just make these silly videos and throw them out essentially into the void, I think, at least. And knowing that there are people who want to hear my opinions on pro wrestling is amazing to me. Even if it's just 3 people, even if 3 people are watching these videos, and it's not just me running the numbers up on my phone and my PC and my computer. Even if it's just 3 people who watch these videos, I have that 3 number in mind because I've had 3 different people message me recently asking where the content on this channel has been. And you know who you are, and thank you so much. That means the world to me. The fact that I talk about wrestling and people want to hear what I have to say about pro wrestling is amazing, and it's like weirdly humbling. It's 3 people, but I still feel so grateful for the fact that people have specifically sought me out to ask about this channel. So I don't know what the content's going to look like over the next 12 months. Maybe I'll find a groove, maybe I'll find a rhythm, maybe I'll find a series, maybe I'll find something. But that's where we're at just now. The channel's going to come back in 2025. We're going to be making videos. We're going to be watching Raw on Netflix. I will have a review of the first Raw on Netflix up, for sure. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. If you are the people who are like, where the fuck's the wrestling channel? Make videos, you dork. Thank you for being one of those people. But now it's time to talk about some of my favourite things in wrestling that happened this year. So, thank you guys so much for watching this wee video here and sticking with me while I wait to work out whatever I'm going to do on this channel next year. I'm going to do something. I'm going to have some consistent content. I don't know what that is going to be, but I'll be doing some stuff on this channel, talking about wrestling, talking shit as always. Thank you guys so much for watching, as always. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you want to see anything in particular on the channel next year going forward. As mentioned with my work and stuff, there's something I can't do. But let me know what you'd want to see. Maybe bring back interview content, maybe do something like that. I don't know. We'll work it out. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Show this to all of your friends. Tell them, hey, look at this handsome man with good wrestling opinions. And I will see you next time.